Do you love book reviews? Well, boy, do I have a great book review for you today. Stick around so I can tell you why I love this book so much and why your child might like it too. Hi, I'm Nahome from Five Senses Academy. Welcome. Today, I am pretty excited to share with you one of my favorite books for toddlers. This book is entitled Polka Dot: Old MacDonald's Farm. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. You're wondering what's so great about this book? Why am I so excited about such a well-known story? Well, unlike most books, this book really isn't about the storyline at all. Most children become well acquainted with the story or song Old MacDonald's Farm while they are still so young that they can barely speak. They really don't need a book to teach them about a song that they are most likely already well versed in. The hype about this book is that this book uses a really cool hands-on approach to teaching children how to count. The reason that this is my favorite out of all of the polka dot books is because the originator of this concept chose to use such a well-known and very well-loved story as to not distract or pull children in many other directions. So as you can see, on each page there are a series of raised buttons or dots that children can pop. The best way that I can describe these buttons or dots are like the buttons that are on a soda lid from a fast food place. The Pokeball popping dots on each page will get your child excited about learning. And isn't that always the goal? The dots help children keep track of how many animals are on each page and which ones they have already counted. The sounds that the dots make as they are pressed reinforces that this is a new animal and has not already been pressed. As your child tries not to miss the buttons that haven't yet been popped, without realizing it, they are learning one-to-one correspondence. This is a foundational math skill for preschoolers. I have seen children take months and sometimes a year to master this skill. But with using this book, children as young as 2 years old are not only counting remotely, but actually understanding the relationship between the object and the number. What a great way to learn to count. My suggestion would be, as soon as you get this book, always count out loud while your child is popping the dots. This technique will keep your child from just popping dots aimlessly and really missing out on developing the skill set that this book was designed for. If you consistently count while your child presses the dots, your child will very soon take their cue from you and will forever count every time they push a dot. The only downside to this book is that you have to read the book in order and press all of the buttons or dots. Otherwise, when you turn the page, some of the dots on the next page aren't ready to be pushed. This is a negative, but it isn't necessarily a deal breaker. You just have to help your child push all the dots before they turn the page, until they get the hang of it. Sure, learning to count to 10 is a pretty simple skill that children eventually learn, but helping your child gain a strong mathematical foundation isn't that common and should not be taken for granted. Learning the right skill sets will empower your child at this young age and will scaffold your child into other skill sets. And those skill sets will lead into even more skill sets that will follow your child well into adulthood. There are many polka dot books, but this one is by far my favorite. But your child would enjoy any one of them. This book is awesome for a young or old toddler, but believe it or not, preschoolers love this book as well. Not to mention that the hard binding of this book makes it one that toddlers and little hands can easily manage and not tear apart. I give this book a 5 Senses Academy star. This is an awesome book. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you go out and you get this book and you enjoy it, just as I have. Bye.